10 News begins with breaking news.
Right now, police have just arrested a man responsible for putting Helix High School on lockdown. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Virginia Cha. 10 News reporter Gracia Aguilar is live near the school in La Mesa. Gracia, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Virginia. Yeah, they just put that man inside the patrol car. They had him out on the sidewalk just a few minutes ago, but this is what police tell us. This man was trespassing onto Helix High School. An employee at Helix saw the man with what she or he thought was a gun or some kind of a weapon, but police tell us this man just had baseball gloves that he was putting on. This man took off. Police surrounded the school trying to look for this person. They finally found him. And again, when we arrived on scene, we found this man on the sidewalk, handcuffed. Police investigating what he was doing on campus. They will be citing him for trespassing, but so far this man does not have any weapons, and the school will be lifted from this lockdown anytime soon. Reporting live from La Mesa, Gracia Aguilar, 10 News.
Gracia, thank you very much. And 10 News notified you about this manhunt with this alert sent at 10:45 just 15 minutes ago. If you want to get alerts just like this, download the free 10 News app from your app store.
About 2,000 service members are coming home today. More of the Makin Island Amphibious Ready Group are arriving this morning. And
10 News reporter Mary McKenzie is live at Naval Base San Diego with the joyous homecoming. Mary, how long have these families been waiting?
Well, it seems like forever. It's been 7 months, and this ship actually came in about a half an hour early this morning. So for these families, it is a lucky welcome homecoming this morning. About 2,000 sailors from the Makin Island Readiness Group are here. That's after the Marines already offloaded today. It is the Navy's turn.
It's been a long 7 months.
How to stand out against a sea of white. Catherine Whidden and her daughter Autumn have the pop of matching color to do just that. They're hoping it will help Dad Stetson find them today after months of being gone. It's not Catherine's first time having her husband away on deployment. He was gone for basic training, but this is the longest he's been away since dapper son Sawyer was born. And as any mom of 2 or more knows, it's more than twice the work, especially when doing it alone.
It's hard, but just kind of do it. You get through it. This time, being just alone with the 2 of them was a lot different, but we managed, huh? Yeah.
And at 11:30, you'll get to hear from Stetson as well. The family was able to find one another here on the pier. So this is the USS Makin Island. It is the largest and the first ship in this group to make it into port today. There are 2 other ships as well, the USS Somerset and the USS Comstock. They're down a ways, a few piers over here at Naval Base San Diego, where we are live. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
Mary, thank you very much, and welcome home to those men and women. Breaking news update on the running of the bulls. No, this was not Pamplona, Spain. This is the East County. Unfortunately, a driver plowed straight into a bull right off Highway 67.
Yeah, that driver's okay. Meanwhile, 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is live in Lakeside, where she spoke with cattle owners about the threat an unsecured fence can pose. Mimi?
Virginia, Jason, the bulls, cows, and calves got out of this gate right here, made their way down to this path and into that Circle K lot over there. But one of them, that bull, did get onto the lanes of Highway 67, where that truck driver did crash into it. Fortunately, the truck driver was okay, but I spoke with cattle ranchers who say if anyone was hurt, the bull's owner would have been liable for those injuries.
It's a problem, and unfortunately, yes, it is a liability, and you know, you have to carry insurance to cover that in case something happens. So this is some that we've raised.
Margaret Drown says she's been a cattle rancher for as long as she can remember, which means she's been in similar situations before. Around midnight, a woman was driving home from a Mother's Day dinner with her son when she hit a bull crossing the 67 just north of Willow. The bull got out of this gate, so did some other cattle. So deputies and store clerks did whatever they could, grabbing tree branches, making lassos out of a garden hose, anything to try to round up the cattle and prevent more crashes. The woman's truck was a total loss, but she miraculously got out of the crash without a scratch.
I'm okay. Only thing that hurt was this airbag, but thank gosh they worked. Thank God.
Drown says the bull's owner is lucky for that. But unfortunately, that bull did have to be put down by officers at the scene. A big loss for those in the Lakeside community.
Sometimes they may not, unfortunately, shoot it in the right spot. And so they probably came out and euthanized it like a vet did with the same thing they would use on your dog or your cat.
Now, Drown says because the bull was euthanized with chemicals, the beef is no longer usable to be donated, but the owner has since secured the gate to make sure no other animals do get out. We're live in Lakeside. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
All right, Mimi, thanks. And new developments in a fatal hit and run from last night. The suspected driver in that incident has been charged with DUI along with felony hit and run and vehicular manslaughter. Police say around 7 last night, Andrew Malonis rear-ended the car right in front of him, sending it into the median before fleeing the scene. The driver of that car died at the scene, and Malonis was arrested shortly after.
This is a developing story. Some startling new numbers released on just how many dog attacks there are in this county. They show the number of kids ending up in the ER from bites is on the rise. Experts say most of the bites from a dog are from a dog that the person is familiar with. In fact, it's oftentimes a family pet. They say because people consider dogs to be part of the family, it's often easy to forget that they are animals and they can react if they're scared.
An animal has to be watched, especially around a child, because what the child does to the dog is the dog mistakes for an attack or something is going to hurt the dog.
They also talked about the do's and don'ts of interacting with dogs. They say children should never approach a strange dog on a leash without asking their parents and the dog owner first. They say parents should then use their best judgment to decide if it's okay to pet that dog.
A developing story on the death of a student killed in a fraternity hazing ritual at Penn State. Timothy Piazza's parents are filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the university as well as the fraternity members involved in this fraternity itself, Beta Theta Pi. Now, Piazza died in February, a grand jury finding he was put through a hazing ritual at his fraternity house. Piazza was forced to drink dangerous amounts of alcohol in a short amount of time. His parents have strong words for the other students charged in his death.
They waited 42 minutes to call for help while they told people to clean up, cover up the evidence, get rid of it. This wasn't boys being boys. This was criminal activity.
The university has added new restrictions for all Greek organizations and put a hold on the graduation of students charged in Piazza's death. Developing story, the UN Security Council holds an emergency meeting following a ballistic missile test North Korea claims to have carried out over the weekend. As ABC's Ariel Reshef reports, it could be a new benchmark for the country and pose a new threat to the U.S.
A fiery missile launch matched by fiery rhetoric from North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Seen here celebrating what he claims is his country's first successful test of a medium long-range ballistic missile. The North Korean dictator warning the missile could carry heavy nuclear warheads capable of striking the U.S. mainland or U.S. interests in the Pacific.
It's the first time we've seen any military missile go this far, but we can be sure that the North Koreans are trying to make this missile nuclear capable.
U.S. officials saying the missile launched from the western part of North Korea and stayed airborne for nearly 30 minutes. It traveled more than 400 miles before descending into the Sea of Japan, just 60 miles from Russia. The latest development drawing global condemnation.
North Korean regime has continued its reckless and provocative conduct, its unlawful conduct. We will continue to work with our ally, the United States, and our partners to impose sanctions on North Korea.
The White House calling North Korea a flagrant menace, saying the idea of direct talks between the two countries is now off the table.
Having a missile test is not the way to sit down with the president, because he's absolutely not going to do it. What we're going to do is continue to tighten the screws. He feels it. He absolutely feels it.
But the North Korean leader remaining defiant in the face of U.S. pressure. This is the 7th North Korean missile test since Donald Trump took office. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.